Good evening, my friends and fellow hackers, cybersecurity students, whoever's listening. I'm Brain Dead. I train every day, one try hacker room, one new skill, always ethical, and by 30, I will be a professional hacker. So, today is day 52, and we're past the day 50 mark, so I think what I need to start incorporating is I'm going to try to do less easy level rooms and level up my game and do medium level rooms and hard level rooms. Try to mix in between it just to get a higher level of knowledge, because I'm definitely past the beginner point here. So I am just going to pick a medium room to do today. Let's see. Alright, I found my room for the day. Mayhem. Can you find the secrets inside the Sea of Mayhem? And what's special about this room is it's a Windows machine. We've been focusing a lot on Linux lately, so I kind of like that we're switching it up and looking at Windows. Now, this isn't exactly a penetration test. I'm actually analyzing task files in this one. So, I'm going to just read the mission statement. Beneath the tempest's roar, a quiet grace, Mayhem's beauty in a hidden place. Within the chaos, a paradox unfolds, a tale of beauty in disorder it molds. Click on the download task file button at the top of this task, and you'll get an evidence.zip file. Extract the zip contents and begin your analysis. Alright, let's begin. I have the file located right here. I'll make my terminal much bigger so we can all see it. And the first objective is, what is the SID of the user that the attacker is executing everything under? So let's unzip this file. Alright. We have a traffic.pcap file. So let's open that up in Wireshark and see what we got. Alright, open. Let's find my TryHackMe folder, and what is this room called? Mayhem. Let's see what we got. So, let me open up, expand some of this. It's pretty cool how we're actually analyzing the traffic that is was on the network for this attack. So we have a get install PS1. I wonder if I could follow this and it'll be much clearer to me. Okay, so notepad.exe, see users Paco, download that notepad, and we're obviously got some obfuscation here. File path. Look at all this obfuscation. We got random variable names. We have, this is obviously calling out to notepad.exe on my favorite port, 1337. Invoke web request, so it's executing some PowerShell here. Web client download file start process file path. Okay. Now, get user Paco. I wonder how we can get the ID for that. So let me close this out and see what else is in this packet file. Let's follow this. If anything else, okay, it looks encrypted. So we got HTTPS here. I wonder if I could determine anything though. TCP maybe? I don't know if I'll be able to determine anything here. This program can't be run in DOS mode. So, okay, we're kind of seeing, maybe it's some C script here. Application MS-DOS. So let's take a look back at the first question though, which was, what is the SID of the user that is attacking the machine? So, I wonder if this could be valuable to me. Let's upload this traffic file and see what it detects. Try hack me, mayhem, traffic. Is this okay? It did detect that it's a Trojan. Havoc. That is the name of the malware. Havoc. Cool. Mayhem, Havoc, kind of goes hand in hand. So, Acronis, no, Viper, Bitdefender, Nano Antivirus, details. Okay, relations. One execution parents. Whoops. Let's go to community. So, what is the community upload about this? HTTP. Reference Havoc. Oh, is this the... No way. Is that the actual framework that this is run on? Well, that's cool. As malleable and modular as possible. Oh my goodness. How would I have known this? Wow. So I'm looking at a walkthrough and this just seems incredibly difficult. Like there's encryption up the wall on this. I just don't see how I'll be able to decipher that in a logical manner. So let's take a look back at my Wireshark here, and let's look at the very initial thread. Follow. HTTP. That wasn't the very first one, was it? This was the very first one. Follow HTTP stream, but I'm getting this muffled garbage. Let me erase that so I could go back to the install file. This is really what I want. HTTP stream. So this is where I have a whole bunch of baloney. Obviously, this must be the attacker. And so 10.0.2.37 is the attacker, and this person is the victim executing this. I don't know if I have to de-obfuscate this. Oh, so we're actually able to use Wireshark to export this. I always forget I could do that with Wireshark. So we do file, export, specified packets. Oh, objects, HTTP. Oh. And I'm exporting, what is that? Notepad.exe? Or should I do install? Well, I guess I could read the install file. So I'm supposed to get notepad. That's really cool. I need to like make notes about this because I didn't know that's how easy it is to read Wireshark and pull things up. I think I want to export objects. Okay, so let's grab a pack of 92. We're going to save it. And we're going to save it as notepad.exe. Oh, God. Okay. So, now that we have... we can close Wireshark. Let's do a cat. I'm really thinking strings, though. Let me see if that provide me anything of relevance, or was it all just a bunch of nonsense? So I'm thinking I might have to actually look at the memory for this. Okay, I'm gonna do a strings instead. I think that'd be more effective. Daemon.64.exe. Lots of about twish. Okay. Man, I need to like improve my scrolling speed. This does not go fast enough. So we have this program can't be run in DOS mode. Text. I didn't really see anything that seemed that interesting besides the bottom, which listed daemon.exe, which, because these all just look like they're repeating, to be honest. Maybe any variations at all? I didn't see KPTC yet. Man, I need to get a better scrolling speed here. So all I can find is daemon.x64.exe. So, when in doubt, daemon.x64.exe. Automated malware report. So this is clearly, this must be the malware then. This must be the malware. Havoc C2 framework. I mean, that's lining up with what we've previously researched so far. I've used this before. So, this must be the actual malware that's being executed then. I've definitely used this before. So this is... Okay. I saw all these strings. Oh. So let's take a look real quick. Let's just do an overview. So if we go back to the Wireshark traffic PCAP file, and I try to understand what's the process here. Mayhem traffic. So first things first, he got installed at PS1 from his attacking machine. All right. Follow TCP. Okay. So he executed this PowerShell script first. Then he pulled in notepad.exe, which ran whatever executable this appears to be from here. And then it looks like at the end it calls out to daemon64.exe, which is, I guess, this Havoc framework. If that makes sense. Okay. So what? So I think the only way we'll understand this is to just read the code. Now, do I have the GitHub still? I think this is the GitHub for this. So, maybe if I go to team server, I wonder if I'll understand this at all. How do I even get this to So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm reading, because this is a little confusing for me. So this is obviously the chain of command. We executed the PowerShell script at the beginning that was obfuscated, ran notepad.exe, which is the Havoc agent, and this connects to the Havoc team server, which I believe is what we executed at the very end of this notepad.exe, the daemon. Understanding Havoc C2. The framework is split into two parts. The team server handles connected operators, tasking agents, and parsing the callback, listeners, and downloaded files and screenshots from the agents. It should run on a public VPS, virtual private server. A public virtual private, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, a publicly available virtual private server to be accessible by known and registered operators. The client is the user interface for the server. There you can interact, task agents commands, and receive output from them. What is a C2 server? Command and control. So these are mainly like bots. Is this what's used to control a bot? Yeah, because a hub for sending commands to. Oh. Looking back at our packet capture, right after the retrieval and execution of the malicious executable, we can see the target reaching out to port 80 of the C2 server. Okay, let me go back and look at the wire capture. Where is my box? There we go. Wireshark. Let's open that back up, and let's take a look at the Wireshark capture. Okay, so after this retrieves the notepad.exe, it starts making contact to the C2 server. Now I wonder if that's what this is, because that's on port 80, looks like. Well, at least it's on protocol HTTP. Get notepad.exe. Oh, is this it? Okay, so now it's finally fully executed, the notepad, and now it looks like it's reaching out on port 80. Yeah. Destination 1038 though. 1038. Is 1038 the victim? Okay. Look at that. Yeah, clearly making some sort of conversation. Oh, if we look at this. A post. Okay, post. Okay. Keep alive, keep alive. Application octet stream, and this gets encrypted here. Something's happening in those commands. So, I see. Okay, that makes a lot more sense with context now. of the attack. So this is the computer talking to the C2 server. Let's keep going. The two resources I have referred to are Havoc across the cyberspace and the GitHub. It requires you to read through the code to understand the inner workings of Havoc. No worries, though. I'll be explaining how it works as well. From the first resource, so let me just read through this resource. A government organization which the threat actors utilized a new command and control framework named Havoc. While C2 frameworks are prolific, the open source Havoc framework is an advanced post-exploitation command and control framework capable of bypassing the most current and updated version of Windows 11 Defender due to the implementation of advanced evasion techniques such as indirect syscalls and sleep obfuscation. Analysis of Havoc daemon implant generated via the Havoc framework. Shellcode loader disables the event tracing for Windows to evade detection mechanisms. Decrypts and executes shellcode via create thread pool wait. Daemon DLL parsing configuration files, usage of sleep obfuscation techniques, communication with the CNC server, check-in request, and command execution. I think maybe that's what I do. Maybe this was check-in requests, and then those obfuscated things, or encrypted things rather, were the command executions. In the beginning of January this year, we discovered an executable named pix.exe. Targeting a government organization. The executable was downloaded from a remote server. Let's now examine the infection chain used by threat actors. 02 decoy document. Havoc daemon downloader. Okay, then that's the notepad for us. Drops and executes batch script. Executes shell loader. And downloads and displays a benign JPEG file. Oh, wow. To kind of distract them. K-leader shellcode Havoc daemon. So it started with a zip archive named 02.zip consisting of two files. Character.scr? What is that? I have never seen an SRCR extension. Windows screensaver files, huh? I've never even seen that. That was a totally quick search, though. I don't know if that's even it. Here, the untitled document is a document consisting of paragraphs regarding the 02, which is a fictional character in the Japanese anime television series Daring in the Franxx. Cool. Further, the screensaver file characters.scr is basically a downloader commissioned to download and execute the Havoc daemon agent on the victim machine. The download is compiled using a BAT to EXE converter. Wow. I didn't know it was that simple to convert a BAT file to an EXE. B2C. I guess. Is this how you could tell? It's a BAT to EXE. That's cool. Once executed, oh, he's looking at the memory now. He's using, I can't remember what that tool is called, but he's digging in deep. That is the decrypted batch script. That's insane. Holy crap! That's the decrypted version. Checks whether test.exe exists in the temp folder. If not, it downloads the final payload from and saves it as seed.exe in the temp folder via invoke web request and then executes it using start seed.exe. Okay. Downloads a JPEG image from pin. Okay, this downloads that. That's the harmless image. Very cool. Before analyzing the final payload, let's take a look at another similar downloader compiled via bat2exe named IHateMyLife.exe. Alright, okay. So they're just, yeah, totally makes sense. They're just using PowerShell to grab the file. And they're saving as image.exe, and this one was image.jpg. Cool. In the Wild Havoc daemon, which was downloaded via the downloader named character.screensaver, is the implant generated via the Havoc framework, which is a modern and malleable post-exploitation command and control framework created by C Spider. Wow. So this is what it looks like. This is the actual framework, and you can see your listeners. The downloaded payload pix.exe is the shellcode loader, which is signed using Microsoft's digital certificate as shown in the screenshot below. Oh, wow. So it kind of tricks them. Okay. That's cool. Okay, disables event tracing. Changes the protection of the region via virtual protect, and then overwrites the first 4 bytes of the event right. Wow, okay. Then the payload AES decrypts the shellcode using crypt decrypt as shown in the screenshot below. In this case, the algorithm ID is used by this memory. Alright, we are back. Okay. So it's using crypt decrypt function to decrypt the shellcode. In this case, it was using this at this memory ID. This is like incredible. Wow. So first of all, I have to take notes. This is very difficult. So now once the shellcode is decrypted, the shellcode is executed via create thread pool wait, where at first it creates an event object in a signaled state via create event A, then allocates RWX memory via virtual allocation, and writes the shellcode in the allocated memory. Further, it creates a wait object using create thread pool wait. Here, the first argument callback function is set to the address of the shellcode. Then it set the wait object via the NT API, TP set wait, and at last calls the wait for signal object, which once executed checks if the waitable object is in a signal state. As our event was created in a signal state, the callback function is been executed. This is literally insanity. Literally, what? So this decrypts it first. Then it executes the shellcode with create thread pool wait. Wait for the single object. And now you get the decrypted shellcode. The shellcode in this case is the Kane leader. Or later? I don't know how to say that. Kane leader, I'm just going to say. And this loads the Havoc's daemon DLL by calling its entry point function. Okay. I'm going to be honest, this is... wow. Okay, so here, these are the virtual addresses associated with, I guess, the DLLs and significant functions. NTDLL, leader, load DLL, allocate, and protect. Dude, hex code? Like, this memory manipulation is so difficult. I need to do more research on memory. I think maybe that's my next episode, is getting my hands around this memory manipulation, because this is incredible. And I'm noticing that most malware is taking advantage of memory. So this is a valuable skill to know. So the daemon config function parses the configuration by indexing the various required values from the config. Following is the configuration for the daemon DLL used in the campaign. So notepad.exe. Daemon routine function is the main loop for the malware. It's responsible for connecting to the command control server, waiting for tasks from the server. Okay, so daemon routine is the main loop. What is my first question in Try Hack Me? What is going on here? What is the SID user? What? Dude, how am I even supposed to find that out? That the attacker is executing everything under? I wonder if I can actually see it in Wireshark, though. Let me analyze the packet rather than... Do we see anything? SID, and this is the reassembled flags, conversation completeness, internet protocols. I'm just not seeing anything that really looks relevant. Unless that's the SSID right there. What? I don't know. I don't think that's the right SSID, but I'm gonna just put it. I also keep saying SSID when really it's SID. Nope. I didn't think this would be right. This seems weird. No. Okay. What is the link local IPv6 address of the server? So I'm thinking that is probably the C2 server, which is that on 37? Do I see an IPv6 address? I don't even think oh, well, this is IPv4, obviously. So let me just minimize it. So I'm guessing there's just going to be an Internet Protocol version 6 packet. I wonder if there's an easy way for me to find that. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a tough one for me because Wireshark is definitely my weakness. I think I should just search for IPv6 at this point, but let me try that. I also have IPv6. Okay, let me do some research here. How to find IPv6 addresses in Wireshark. Enter IPv6. I figured that's what you do, right? But not getting lucky there. IPv6. How do I... What is the SID of the user that the attacker is executing everything under? Well, isn't that guy Pablo? Is that what he's talking about? Maybe that's what. Maybe it's the first string. Maybe that's actually what I'm looking for. Is this right here? I wonder if this is. That's all it was. Is this? No, I don't know if it's. I'm just gonna try this. That seems kind of short though. I don't know if it's. This is tricky. Tricky. I'm going back to this walkthrough because I'm quite confused as what is the first answer. This is insane. What? Wait. Okay, I actually have to read this because somehow they end up decrypting. Daemon routine, it calls all these functions. And this is what looks to be the script. And I guess he found packet capture, have pcap parser. Get job, daemon initiate, decrypt. Okay. This makes sense. It's just a decryptor. Found agent. Oh, okay. Oh. Found AES key. Oh. Is CTR. Okay, I guess that's the encryption style. Okay, the data sent with every post request contains payload size, magic bytes, agent ID, command ID, and memory ID in sequence, which makes up the first 20 bytes. We also know the AES key is 32 bytes and IV is 16 bytes. Let's go back to our packet capture and look at the file data sent in the first post request. Dude, I am learning, like, what? So the first... So, wait. We know that the AESQ is 32 bytes. And we know that because AES key request body, 32 bytes, 20 to 52. 32 bytes. Found AES key. So we're discovering the AES key here. Wow. Which is 94 to what, CA? Holy crap. What in the world? Alright, let's open up Wireshark. Let's take this off. Let's go to that packet where, was it 180? Probably could do this one. Right? Okay, and let's take a look at the... What am I looking at here? The hex? Is that what I'm looking for? So 9A... Oh, these are pairing. Is it pairing for me? Is this... Where's the API key? This is so confusing to me. Maybe it's this one. Oh. I'm almost tempted to just do like a beginner level memory room at this point, because what am I doing? This is just ridiculous. it's the combination of memory and Wireshark that is killing me. I cannot figure this out. Let me do this. Let's get this going here. Let's join this room. Before memory forensics define flags. Okay, let me do the volatility room. I'm just on a chain of rooms here at this point. Don't worry, one of these rooms is going to give me the day 52 streak here. Learn how to perform memory forensics with volatility. Oh boy. Did I get that? Come on, you can download. Before completing this, we recommend completing the core Windows processes room. I'm just on a huge train of stuff here. I'm pretty familiar with Windows processes though, so I think I could be able to avoid that one at the moment. I really want to get into memory manipulation because what in the world am I? Oh yes, let's just download this 3 times. Move downloads. Practical. Okay. We're gonna unzip this. We got a vmem file. Oh, that's cool. Alright, this room uses memory dumps for THM rooms and memory samples from Volatility Foundation. So, we are about to get the day 52 streak because of this initial room. Ready? Boom! We're a beast. Now, I'm going to try to complete this whole room. Even though I'm 42 minutes into the video, what are you going to do? Excuse me. All right. Volatility is the world's most widely used framework for extracting digital artifacts from volatile memory samples. The extraction techniques are performed completely independent of the system being investigated but offer visibility into the runtime state of the system. The framework is intended to introduce people to the techniques and complexities associated with extracting digital artifacts from volatile memory samples and provide a platform for further work into this exciting area of research. Volatility is built off of multiple plugins working together to obtain information from the memory dump. To begin analyzing a dump, you'll first need to identify the image type. There are multiple ways of identifying this information that we'll cover further in later tasks. Once you have your image type and other plugins sorted, you can then begin analyzing the dump by using various volatility plugins against it that will be covered in depth later in this room. Since volatility is entirely independent of the system under investigation, this allows complete segmentation, but full insight into the runtime state of the system. At the time of writing, there are 2 main repositories for volatility, one built off of Python 2 and the other built off of Python 3. For this room, we recommend using Volatility 3 version built off of Python 3. Makes sense. All right, let's go and download Volatility 3. Let's just do a git clone. Volatility Foundation, Volatility 3. Cool. We have good old volatility here. Cool. Very cool. Okay. Installing volatility. How hard could it possibly be to install volatility? It's okay. Great. This was the easiest thing in the world to install. Phenomenal. Okay. Extracting a memory dump can be performed in numerous ways, varying based on the requirements of your investigation. Listed below are a few of the techniques and tools that can be used to extract memory from a bare metal machine. Maybe I should do a... Where is my tools section? Delete. We're going to call this memory manipulation. Let's do that. I'm going to make a new note. Memory extraction. Yeah. When using an extraction tool on a bare metal host, it can usually take a considerable amount of time. Take into consideration during your investigation if time is a constraint. Most of the tools mentioned above for memory extraction will output a .raw file. That's the first time I've ever heard of a .raw file. I saw it in our zip file that we extracted. Okay. Now we got VMware, which is vmem, Hyper-V. I'm gonna just so we know. Plugins. Since converting to Python 3, the plugin structure for volatility has changed quite drastically. The naming structure of plugins has also changed. In the previous versions of volatility, the naming convention has been simply the name of the plugin and was universal for operating systems and profiles. Now with volatility 3, you need to specify the operating system prior to specifying the plugin to be used. For example, windows.info versus linux.info. This is because there are no longer profiles to distinguish between various operating systems for plugins, as each operating system has drastically different memory structures and operations. Obviously, to get familiar with the plugins, utilize the help menu. Okay, by default, volatility comes with all existing Windows profiles from Windows XP to Windows 10. Image profiles can be hard to determine if you don't know exactly what version and build the machine you extracted a memory dump was from. And in some cases, you may be given a memory file with no other contact. It's up to you to figure out where to go from there. In that case, volatility has your back. Okay, let me do this. Identifying memory dumps. This plugin will provide a memory dump and assign a list of the best possible OS profiles. Let's copy this whole string of text here. Image profiles can be hard to determine if you don't know exactly what version and build the memory. Okay, yeah, we read that. This plugin will provide a memory dump and assign it a list of the best possible OS profiles. Okay. Image info is not always correct. If you're still looking to get information about what the host is running from memory dump, we can use the following 3 plugins. So I suppose, why don't we utilize this? So what am I? Volatility. Let me go to Python 3. .py. Let's do investigation -1.vmem. I didn't even spell that right. There we go. And image info. Maybe that's what I gotta do here. Just to, it's looking like Windows. So let's do windows.info. It's updating. To practice any of the memory, but you could, okay, you can practice with the... Unknown caller. Dude, everyone's just calling me today. I'll resume the video once this is finished. Alright, we finally got the kernel base, symbol file, layer name, system time, 2012, it's a Windows, major, minor, so these are the versions, 5.1, is it telling me what Windows operating system? I don't know if I saw that. 15 KD Windows. I feel like this must be like Windows. I don't know if Windows 7 was that long. Was it 2012? Maybe even Windows XP. XP. I don't know. Okay, cool. So that was a cool little test of that. Okay, what do we got here? 5 different plugins within Volatility allow you to dump processes and network connections. And the most basic way of listing processes is using PS list. This plugin will get the list of processes from the doubly linked. Okay. Let's try it. That's pretty cool. It shows the processes from the memory dump. Cool. Explorer.exe spools, which is just a print spooler, but you could definitely masquerade as that as well. This was cool. Okay, well, let's do a PS scan just to see what these things do. No metadata. Okay, this is just... Okay. I think it was kind of the same thing, isn't it? Some malware typical rootkits will, in an attempt to hide their processes, unlink from the list. By unlinking themselves from the list, you'll no longer see the processes when using PS list. To combat this evasion technique, we could use PS scan. Okay, that makes sense. I wonder if I saw any that's different. sms.exe? Did I see that? Oh, yeah, I saw it at the very top. Spool, no. I don't see spools on this one. This is weird. Anyway. So, we could do netstat to identify network construction. Netstat. The last plugin we'll cover is... Oh, I got an error. DLL list. I feel like that's going to be the most effective use, really. Trying to find those malicious DLLs. Alright, and we got a bunch of DLLs. Read the above, and okay. It's really more of just like the manual, I guess, in a sense. I was kind of expecting an interactive try hack me room, but this is more of just like reading the manual. The first plugin we'll be talking about is the one useful when hunting for code injection is malfind. The plugin will attempt to identify injected processes. That's awesome. Oh, this is the memory output. That's pretty cool. This is actually what I expected when I was looking for a memory room, was to see something like this. WinLogin.exe, WinLogin.exe. So what is that what's maliciously injected? Let me read it. Based on the plugin will attempt to identify injected processes and their PIDs along with the offset address and a hex, ASCII, and disassembly view of the infected area. And I guess Yara scan is like some sort of... What did I mess up? I think I messed up the syntax somehow. I see Yara scan has a Yara scan.Yara scan, which I don't know if that's the issue. No. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up just for today. Man, I really wanted to do a penetration testing room, but I mean, we have to learn about additional tools. I need to diversify myself a bit. So, memory is definitely something I'm struggling with here, and I think I need to repeat that a lot more to be able to kind of get my hands around it. Yeah, well, thank you guys for watching. I'm Brain Dead. I train every day. One try hacker room, one new skill, always ethical, and I'll be back tomorrow for a banger. Thanks, guys. Bye.